The number two item in the Republican Party's platform this year is a call to carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. This raises the prospect of raids and sweeps in U.S. cities, surveillance of communities, families separated, people kept in encampments, and perhaps millions pushed back into Mexico or put on planes. Even people who have lived here for many years. This is very dark, but could it happen? Yes, but not without a historic change in the role of the U.S. military. Let me explain. Our government's civilian agencies could never do this on their own. ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, does not have anywhere near enough personnel, detention space, or budget to carry out a mass deportation campaign. Doing that would require calling in the one government agency that does have excess personnel, a big budget, planes, vehicles, logistics, the United States Armed Forces. Perhaps with National Guard and Reserve personnel, perhaps with active duty soldiers, some of whom might be redeployed back home from overseas. If this were to happen, it would be a huge break with historic norms. Here in the United States, we're not used to seeing soldiers confronting civilians or even having much contact with them. That's because of our laws. An 1878 law, the Posse Comitatus Act, makes it illegal for soldiers to do domestic law enforcement unless it's an emergency, like a riot or a natural disaster. Candidate Donald Trump has been signaling that he would declare an emergency to justify using the military for mass deportation. He said he would invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, a rarely used law that would face some very stiff court challenges. In order to pay for mass deportation, a president would also need to raid the defense budget. During his last administration, Trump did that. He took about $10 billion from the military to pay for border wall construction. If it happens, a mass deportation campaign could involve combat-trained U.S. soldiers playing a big new anti-migration role on U.S. soil. If you heard this week's WOLA podcast about Mexico, you know that WOLA opposes soldiers playing internal missions in Latin America because it's usually a big step backward for civil-military relations and democracy. To see it contemplated here in the United States is alarming. Thank you for watching. Please visit us at wola.org, and while you're there, please click the donate button.